be in India and to like make tracks and to make tracks with Indian artists is healing right here, you know.
We need it. We all
It's
need
like
it.
holding hands,
Yes.
you know,
We
like
all need it.
we together because you also at that time you also helped a lot of MCs like my guy Todd Ford, like when he
Yes.
was there, like
Yeah.
understanding,
Yeah.
like learning the ropes of the game
Yeah.
back in London,
Yes.
which we needed as well to be in international and
Yeah.
in our approach and everything.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you give like a lot of like even Mawali for instance, you know,
Yeah.
like confidence in terms of
Yeah.
you know you're sick, even though I don't understand you're sick. So it's like
It's even if the language barrier, it just sometimes if you're a certain individual, if you're emotionally intelligent with yourself and others, it's a frequency. You know, and then when I asked him, I asked him what he's talking about. You know, so they were talking about a lot of political things. They were talking about their tribes. They were talking about their culture.
Yeah.
And that is the most important thing for us to understand our identity and to pass that on to the youngers so that
Yeah.
mainstream doesn't just wash that away and take away who we are. We need to remind each other of things that we forgot,
yeah.
you know?
Definitely, and music is the best way of reminder. And you've done all of like your whole journey has been of music, or it's like you know from how we've like you know you've been inspired also like you know from Wu-Tang Clans and the likes of Tupac. It's education, you know, giving the right education.
100%.
You know?
100. So I do workshops as well with young people in England and from all different backgrounds, from ages from 15 to 25. Workshops called True Stories. So just after 9/11, the British government was like putting leaflets through people's doors like any young person that says anything against the government will be seen as a terrorist.
Okay.
And I'm like, this is against our like freedom of speech and like, you know, like how are we not allowed to question things? How are we not to ask questions? So I created workshops called True Stories, and it was to understand how mainstream media programs society with fear, Islamophobia, sexism, who owns mainstream media, what their agenda and their narrative, how it suits them. And I would get guests on who would work for like Russia Today or The Guardian. So we had Richard Sudan, who's a great independent journalist, so that young people could feel confident because they were scared. Like, what? We're allowed to talk about the elite families?
Yeah,
or,
you spoke about everything like if,
yeah, the federal banking system or da-da-da-da. Like, yeah, of course we can. Like, if we all talk about it, like, what's the problem? We need to understand instead of it being a conspiracy, which is something that was created by the CIA anyway. That word conspiracy is just
to confuse
whatever.
people.
Yeah, yeah.
It was really freeing for us also back in Mumbai, like to see an artist being really free to say whatever the fuck he or she wants to.
Yeah,
You know?
I believe that
Like
because it's
you
very
and
difficult
Global
for you
Faction.
guys. Yeah.
You know, the artists that, I mean, Loki and Logic
Yeah,
at that time.
yeah, yeah.
It was like, yo. Of course, in US we had like Immortal Technique and
Yeah.
Arya the Rugged Man,
Yeah.
Vinnie Paz and all. But in UK,
Yeah.
you guys were the one for us.
Yeah.
You know, and the same likes. Akala, of course.
Yes.
You know.
Yes.
Uh,
It's just something within us, I think, and I think it's
fucking
got,
amazing.
it's something that's in you. I don't think it's like, oh, well, they're doing it, so I'm gonna copy it like a little bit. Sometimes people
No, it
do that.
wasn't, no.
It's I don't know. Let's just call
it's
it
energy. Like you know,
Yeah.
if I see a Mike Tyson, I feel like yo, I want to use my energy in this way.
Yes.
I want to express this and get inspired by Mike.
Yeah.
If he could do it and use that energy for boxing, maybe I could do the same.
Yeah, because it ignites something in you. But for me, it's just in me.
Yeah.
Like no one's telling me what to say. No one's
Correct.
like, you know, I could have talked about anything. It's in me, and you're inspired by Mike, but you were already a fighter.
Correct.
So it's like being activated. Like, I guess, I hear you, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking
Mike
amazing.
Tyson's the best.
Mike Tyson is